Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sylvia Paroi, Assistant Professor of Community Medicine Department, Ad-Din Akij Medical College, Khulna. Today we start environmental health in air chapter. Air is a mechanical mixture of gases. The normal composition of external air by volume is approximately as follows: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, other gases. Nitrogen is 78.1%, oxygen 20.93%, carbon dioxide 0.03%. Other gases which occur in traces are argon, neon, krypton, xenon and helium. That's our composition of air. Air also contains water vapor, traces of ammonia and suspended matter such as dust, bacteria, spores and vegetable debris. Air is rendered impure by respiration of man and animals, combustion of coal, gas, oil, etc. Decomposition of organic matter and trade, traffic and manufacturing processes which give off dust, fumes, vapors and gases. Certain self-cleansing mechanisms occur in nature, such as wind, sunlight, rain, plant life. Wind dilutes and sweeps away the impurities by its movement. Sunlight, the atmospheric temperature and sunlight play their own part by oxidizing impurities and killing bacteria. Rain, it cleanses the atmosphere by removing the suspended and gaseous impurities. Plant life, the green plants utilize the carbon dioxide and generate oxygen. This process is reversed during the night time. The air of occupied room have changes in air that take place in confined places are both chemical and physical. Chemical changes occur that the air becomes progressively contaminated by carbon dioxide and the oxygen content decreases. Some physical changes also occur, that is, rise in temperature, increase of humidity, decrease in air movement, unpleasant odors, bacterial pollution also increase. What is air pollution? The term air pollution signifies the presence in the ambient atmosphere of substances such as gases, mixture of gases, particulate matter generated by the activities of man in concentrations that interfere with human health, safety or comfort, or injurious to vegetation and animals and other environmental media, resulting in chemicals entering the food chain or being present in drinking water and thereby constituting additional source of human exposure. There are some sources of air pollution, that is, first, automobiles. Motor vehicles are a major source of air pollution throughout the urban areas. They emit hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, lead, nitrogen oxides and particulate matter. Industries emit large amount of pollutants into the atmosphere. Combustion of fuel to generate heat and power produces smoke, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides and fly ashes. Domestic combustion of coal, wood or oil is a major source of smoke, dust, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. The most direct and important source of air pollution affecting the health of many people is tobacco smoke. This comprises burning refuse, incinerations, pesticide spraying, natural sources like wind-borne dust, fungus, molds, bacteria and nuclear energy programs are miscellaneous. All these contribute to air pollution. Now we see what is air pollutants. More than 100 substances which pollute air have been identified. The important ones are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, nitrogen oxides, fluoride compounds, organic compounds such as hydrocarbon, aldehydes, ketones, organic acids, metallic contaminants such as arsenic, zinc, iron resulting from smelting operation, radioactive compounds, some photochemical oxidants such as ozone. Now we see how to monitor air pollution. The best indicators of air pollution are sulfur dioxide, smoke and suspended particles. These are monitored on a daily basis over several sites. The results are then collected by a central agency. Sulfur dioxide, this gas is a major contaminant in many urban and industrial areas. Its concentration is estimated in all air pollution surveys. Smoke or soiling index. A known volume of air is filtered through a white filter paper under specified conditions and the stain is measured by photoelectric meter. Smoke concentration is estimated and expressed as micrograms or per cubic meter of air as an average level over a period of time. Now we see some effects of air pollution. That first, health aspects. The immediate effect is acute bronchitis. The delayed effect is chronic bronchitis, lung cancer, bronchial asthma, emphysema and respiratory allergies also occur. Lead poisons is particularly dangerous to children developing brain and nervous system. Elevated lead levels in children have been associated with impaired neuropsychological development as measured by loss of IQ, poor school performance and behavioral difficulties. Social economic aspect, these comprise destruction of plant and animal life, corrosion of metals, damage to buildings, cost of cleaning and maintenance and repair, and aesthetic nuisance. Air pollution also reduces visibility in towns. It can damage clothing. Now we see how to prevent and control air pollution. World Health Organization has recommended the following procedures for the prevention and control of air pollution. Contamination, prevention of escape of toxic substances into the ambient air. Containment can be achieved by a variety of engineering methods such as enclosure, ventilation and air cleaning. A major contribution in this field is the development of arresters for the removal of contaminants. Second one is replacement, that is replacing a technological process causing air pollution by a new process that does not. Increased use of electricity, solar power generation, natural gas and central heating in place of coal have greatly helped in smoke reduction. Third one is dilution. Dilution is valid so long as it is within the self-cleaning capacity of the environment. For example, some air pollutants are readily removed by vegetation. The establishment of green belts between industrial and residential areas is an attempt at dilution. Next, legislation. Air pollution is controlled in many countries by suitable legislation. Clean Air Acts. International action to deal with air pollution on a World Health Organization has established an international network of laboratories for the monitoring and study of air pollution. Now we see disinfection of air. Methods employed are mechanical ventilation. This reduces vitiated air and bacterial density. Next one is ultraviolet radiation. This has been found to be effective in special situations such as operation theatres and infectious disease wards. Next one is chemical mists. Triethylene glycol vapors have been found to be effective air bactericides, particularly against droplet nuclear dust. Another one is dust control. Application of oil to floors of hospital wards reduces the bacterial content of the air. Air disinfection is still in the Experimental stage.